I spent so much time. I spent so much time setting this up that I forgot. I forgot to set up what we're gonna talk about today. So I'm going on a whim. I'm checking my notes and I see what I think is interesting to talk about. Hi, say hi. So, I brought tea. I brought a donut. Are you ready for live goobaing? Alright. Whoa. She hates us. Come on. Hello. Hello. Okay. First off, watch this. Whoa! My hair wiggles around when I do that. I found a couple extra things. I can also do emotes and stuff like that. Wait, give me a second. I need to remember the controls. Okay, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's this. Oh yeah, it is. Look. So, I found out where all my emote control thingies are. Yes. Let's go. Oh wait, can you see the mouse when I click on it? Oopsies. I don't mean to. Okay. Lulas. Oh, the music is so loud. I'm sitting on a chair today, okay? I got too tired walking around last time, and I realized I have to disconnect my mic if I want to walk around, and so I'm doing that later. Very so cute. CBS Sundragon, thank you, Josh. And Jiron, thank you. Is there a scientific reason as to why you're cute? Thank you. But hello. Okay. So, first, I'm gonna eat. I know this happens every time, but you don't understand. 7 p.m. for me. That's snacking time. That's snack time. So, it is necessary that I eat right now. That I snack on something right now. I have a donut. And I have tea. Oh my god, you can see me holding the plate. My donut that you can't see. It's right here. It's right there. And I have a cup of tea, but you can't see it either. So, what kind of donut? It's just one of those like glazed donuts. Oh. So, while we're sitting here, let me go find silly little facts to tell you guys. I was trying to think of something interesting to talk about. Can we have some? No! I'm hungry. This is all for me. All mine. Yum, 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 yum. Oh. I was thinking of talking about how muscle works, because a lot of people seem to be interested in. Sorry, I covered my camera and it got mad at me. A lot of people seem to be interested in muscles. All because they're trying to build their own muscle. I remember the last time I talked about biology and stuff on stream. People just kept asking me about muscles the entire time. I was thinking of that. We could talk about Sorry. Damn, this donut is good. It's bumping. I was thinking we could talk about like BMI and stuff like that, and like debunking what's it called? Diets? I feel like that would be kind of interesting. But I feel like a lot of time when people ask me about like biology and nutrition, always is about keeping themselves healthy. And there's a lot of people who are like, how do I lose weight? How do I gain weight? Stuff like that. No, I feel like that would be kind of interesting to talk about. What are your thoughts? What are the Gooma's thoughts? Keto diet? Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Oh. Are the Goombas interested in that? Sounds like a plan? YeoNwa, do you think I have to convince everyone to play prop hunt? Like, no way, right? I can get away with it, I think. I'd like to. Or like Trouble in Paris Town? That would be so funny. I feel like I probably could. But I think the huge like multiplayer thing right now is Lethal Company. So maybe I have to do the Lethal Company wave. Lethal Company is like an intense version of like Among Us. I'm joking. Please don't hunt me down for that. I'm joking. I'm gonna get like 5 different tweets. Like, all I'm doing here is sitting on my desk, eating a donut. What are they gonna do about it? I like how you can see how I'm chewing. That's so funny. Actually, Gmod is not, or not Gmod. Lethal Company is not like Among Us. It's much more complex and scary. That's valid. That's actually so facts. I believe that. It's in a chair, Grandma. Okay, look. I misspoke. Toxic! Video Gmod would be hilarious. Also 2 months supplies. Welcome back to Sun Covenant. Give me a second. I literally, because I had a donut, but you can't really eat a donut with chopsticks, I literally brought like a wet paper towel and then like a paper towel with like soap on it. Like a wet paper towel with soap. And then a dry one. See? You have to be prepared. You never know what's coming. Unlike those filthy people who touch their keywords after touching food, you freaks. Okay, so today, I think what we said we wanted to talk about is diet. So we're gonna talk about like energy balance and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So one huge thing that everyone like always comes into like these topics asking about is always like what's the term? Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's always like, how do I like lose weight? And that's it. Like that's like the only question. Like, how do I lose weight? How do I do this? Kind of thing. Which is valid. It's completely valid. I think understanding the science behind how like energy and stuff works is really important. It makes it like a lot clearer in what you're doing. As well as like just all the different chemicals. You can even cut the donut before using chopsticks. I didn't think of that. It was 5 minutes setup before stream. I hit the start stream button and then walked downstairs immediately. and got a donut and tea. I had no time. I was on a time limit. 5 minutes, kind of. Not really, but like, you know, about. Certainly, right? Okay. So. Yes. Okay. Allow me to get my silly little book and read from my silly little book. Chopsticks on a donut? Look! If you're gonna judge me for using chopsticks, I need to see if you clean your keyboard. That's all. Like, if you judge me on, like, my hygiene activities, like, I need to see how often you clean your keyboard, wash your desk mat, go and clean, like, your PC after, like, you know, letting it chug up a whole bunch of, like, dust and stuff. Like, I'm not taking people judging my stuff if you're just gonna, like, hide behind your silly little screen and not tell me what you do instead as an alternative. You freak. I'm joking. Okay. Good. We're good. We're good. Okay. So, talking about okay. So, there's 4. Let's talk about science. There's 4 energy yielding nutrients. We've talked about nutrients before. It's been a while. I'll refresh you really quickly. So we're talking about there's energy yielding nutrients and there's non-energy yielding nutrients. Vitamins and minerals do not give you energy. They assist in making energy and whatnot, but they don't directly give you energy by breaking them down. If I broke down, like, a vitamin into all its little components and whatever, that does not give me energy. Breaking it doesn't give me energy. Now, the 4 energy yielding nutrients is our carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and alcohols. Right? Yes. Yes? Oh, how's it going? It's going good. Alright, let me draw this. Let me see if I'm gonna write this in the right spot. 4. Can you guys see the 4? Okay. Energy yielding. Oh god, I spelled that wrong. Yielding. Okay, yes. Carbs. Lipids or fat. Oh, no, I'll write it as fat. Fat. We have alcohol. And lastly, what was it? Protein. Okay, this one isn't really necessary. Before anyone's like, it's time for me to be an alcoholic, that one right there, that one's not necessary. You don't actually need that one. It's just, these are the 4 energy yielding things. Okay? Can you break it down, Suri? No, but I can phase out of existence. Watch this. Okay. I was gonna start saying, can we enter the class? No, you're gonna sit here in the hallway and you're gonna listen to me talk about energy. You're gonna sit here and listen to me talk the entire time. And that's it. You're gonna be stuck here, you're gonna listen to me, and that's all. I don't care if your class is right there. I don't care. You're stuck with me now. Okay. Yay. Yippee. Okay. So, I hate talking about BMI. I think BMI is the stupidest thing ever. I understand why people use it, but BMI has its exceptions, which I'll talk about later. Chill, whenever someone starts talking about BMI, I'll talk about it in a bit when we get to it, in all my notes. But, like, if you... Like, a lot of things contribute to BMI. BMI is not, like... When people talk about BMI, it's not just... Oh, here's the special little number. You have to be within the range of this special little number. No, a lot of these contribute from, like ranging from age, race, all that kind of stuff. It all contributes, like, just genetics in general, whether you're a bodybuilder, stuff like that, all contributes to whether you're gonna have a high or low BMI or whatever. So, BMI is a good general guideline, but it doesn't apply to every single person ever. You know, like, it's just, think it's bad. Yeah. If anyone ever tells you, like BMI is valid to an extent. What? Who? BMI is valid to an extent. I think it was like freaking out because my cup was in front of my camera. BMI is valid to an extent. It's a good general guideline, but it doesn't just... If you're slightly out of the range or slightly within the, like, above it or below it, it's probably good enough. That's why it's a range. Anyways, I just stopped ranting about that. I'm sorry, I read the word BMI and I just got triggered immediately. BMI says I'm anorexic? See, it depends. Okay. So, energy balance, right? Life is about energy balance. What you eat. So it's practically what you eat, what goes, you know, if I'm like right here or whatever, you know, what goes into me and then, you know, what comes out of me. That's energy balance. It's practically everything that you eat and everything you expel in balance. Like, as long as if your weight will be consistent, as long as you're eating as much as you use. If you want to lose weight, you use more than you eat. If you want to gain weight, you eat more than you want to lose. Or like you lose on a daily. Right? BMI bros are seething. Oh my god, BMI bros make me want to mold out of my mind. Keto diet makes me want to mold out of my mind. So, I think I talked about this before. Out of all of these, they give you a set amount of calories per gram, right? So anytime, I've talked about this before too. Anytime you have like, if you look at the back on like a nutrient label, usually it'll say like daily value or something like that, daily value. And then it'll have like a big bar and it'll say a whole bunch of random stuff and like give you percentages and whatever. Okay, 15% is good enough. 15% is like more than necessary usually per diet. Anything lower than 5% isn't a lot. So if you ever read something and it says like trans fat, like 7.5%, that's not good. You don't want trans fat. It's not supposed to be within this range. You want it way lower. Let's say like you're trying to get a certain like amount of a vitamin and like you're trying to get vitamin C and it says there's 3% vitamin C in this thing. Well, that's way below than what you want in a daily value. You want to be within this range. If you want an excess amount, you go above 15%. If you want a really low amount, you go below 5. Or if it's 0%, great. Like, that's just how it works. Anyways, going to this, usually it like will say some sort of fancy little thing right here, right? It'll say this fancy little thing and it'll say calories. Blank amount of calories. I was trying to write all over myself, but it's okay. It'll say a blank amount of calories, right? I'm like poking my own head. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Blank amount of calories, right? It'll say something here. Okay, when it says calories, they don't actually mean actual calories, funnily enough. The scientific word for it is... move over. Kcals. This stands for kilo. That's like... You know... Americans might not understand this, but if you know what a kilometer is, like, it's just saying how many calories it is. So, right? Do you guys know what? Wait, how many people here actually know what a kilo is? Do people here actually know what a kilo is? 1,000? Yes. Okay, thank God. Someone knows. Okay, kilo is 1,000, right? So, every 1 calorie, I believe... Okay, this is gonna be a general estimate. I'm pretty certain, 1 kcalorie is the temperature raise of 1 kilogram and raising water by 1 degree Celsius. So anytime you read calories, I hope you Americans know that every time you read calories, you're actually just reading something that's European. So, suck it! You use that in your daily life. I hate the imperial system, and the imperial system can suck D's. Because right there, you use this in every single thing, and it's in calories. So, suck it, first off. You use kilometers no matter, or you use kilos no matter how much you don't want to. And you use degrees Celsius. So, If you want to do the fancy big conversion into imperial rather than just saying 1 kilogram per of water by 1 degree Celsius, then go ahead and do your silly little empirical things. Anyways, in feet, Americans are. What is your guys' obsession with feet, huh? Anyways, putting all this aside, let's talk about what do these actually give you. For every 4. Americans are seething right now. You get 4 kcals. Oh, I should have wrote this differently. You get 4 kcals, calories per gram of carb. So if you eat 1 gram of a carb, you get 4 kilocalories, right? Or 4 calories, standard nutrition calorie, whatever people use on a daily basis, right? Okay, good. Now, that's the exact same for protein. 4. And I'm just gonna write cal per gram. Now, fat gives you 9. And alcohol gives you 7. I think I've talked about this, but if you want to know why people that drink a lot of alcohol tend to get beer guts and stuff like that, it's this. It's because alcohol actually gives you more calories than carbs and, like, protein does. So, alcohol, pretty calorie heavy, if you drink it. Not saying that it's bad, like, completely and utterly. Obviously, it has its, bad things to it. I'm not saying you can't drink it at all ever, but everything in moderation is important. Anyways, there's a lot of fancy terms that people tend to use when talking about, what's it called? When talking about energy expenditure, right? Okay, so I'm gonna write the acronyms down, but I'm not gonna write like the entire thing. Give me a second, let me pull them up so I write them correctly. Okay, so you have your total energy expenditure, and the reason why I explain all this is that it's like important to understand all of these when it comes to managing your diet and managing your weight. So there's T, there's B, there's BMR, which some people might recognize this one, BMR. And there's REE, technically, or it's also paired with RMR. And you can see that some of these mirror each other, like BMR and RMR, BEE, REE, right? These two kind of match with each other. Okay, so basically, what do I want to talk about? Rudy! Let me move this over here. It's fine, if it's right beside me. TEE. I'm just gonna write the first word, total. This is your total energy expenditure. This is your basal. What the fuck is basal? That means just like your awake body while you're not doing anything. Not digesting anything, not eating anything, not running around, all that kind of stuff. You're not doing any of it. Basal is just existing. This is also basal. So, total, this is energy expenditure, TEE, basal energy expenditure. So total is obviously like everything from activity, metabolism, processing food, producing things, whatever. That's everything. This is just existing. I love existing. The R in here, why is it called BMR? This is your basal metabolic rate. So it's literally practically this, but put in time. Anytime you hear rate usually means that it's in like a scale of time. So often it will be like kcals per hour. Right? Kcals per hour, we're good, we're chilling, we understand so far. Just air, literally, yeah, just literally existing, functioning. Kcals per hour. Okay. Again, these are all resting conditions. So BE, basal, existing. Okay, again, so now what is RE? This is your resting energy expenditure or resting metabolic rate. this is... So the reason why this exists is it's practically this. This is just like the science version of it. Smile. Like this is the science like experiment version of it. So this is specifically 5 to 6 hours. 5 to 6 hours of doing nothing. No food. No. Oh, I can't spell food. No food. No exercise. For 5 to 6 hours. This is just like, the reason why they have this is for experiments, obviously. Like, they want to see, like, what people do when they just exist solely. But it's hard to, like, you can't just, you know, get an adult human to just exist without food or, like, exercise at all, ever. So, they use this as a general guideline for experiments. It just exists literally for that. Like, there's no other, you know, necessary for it. Because it's practically the same thing. That's why they mirror each other. Okay, so now we understand this. So there's your basal, which is all your involuntary stuff. So this is like breathing, existing, general, whatever. Total is everything. What you do in a whole day, right? So, what takes the most amount of energy to exist? Well, okay, funnily enough, it's not physical activity. Moving doesn't necessary, it's not necessary. The thing that takes the most energy is literally just existing. So, basal takes literally the most energy. Existing takes the most energy out of you. This requires the most kcals. Now, the second major thing is physical activity. Obviously, when I'm certain you've heard of sedentary lifestyle and like highly active and stuff like that, physical activity usually takes the second majority of whatever. So, again, what's really important is the energy balance or whatever. Let me think. Where do I want to go with this? Do I want to start talking about BMI now, or... Let me think. Well, we've already talked about energy balance, right? It's like literally like the silly little... It's Leora Senpai's... It's her... It's her silly oshimark. Right? So, energy balance on a scale relative to how much you eat. Like, if I eat a crap ton of donuts, right? A lot of donuts. And then I sit here on my computer all day, which I practically did. Well, guess what? I probably ate more calories than necessary for sitting at the computer all day. Oh, guess who probably gained a little bit of weight? Is that a bad thing? No, I have a very fast metabolism, so I'd actually like to prefer to gain weight. Obviously not by donuts, because I'd rather, you know, choose something that doesn't make me lethargic, but... Anyways, running back. So, your body actually uses energy in a specific hierarchy. If you think of it as like a little bar. Let me think about this. So, your body will use fat last, usually. So, let me think. So, first your body usually uses alcohol, right? This is because often when alcohol is metabolized, it can be slightly toxic to the body. Your body will use this first to kick it out because it doesn't want it in your body. Alcohol, obviously, alcohol bad or whatever. Of course, in moderation, it's fine, but usually your body tries to spend alcohol sooner. I know, okay, I did say that when people tend to drink a lot of alcohol, it has a lot of kcals, right? And I made it sound like alcohol is being stored, but it's actually all the fat that the person eats afterwards that's being stored. And I can explain this in a second when I draw out the entire hierarchy. Next is your proteins are usually used. This is also because proteins actually broken down can be slightly toxic. This is why, like, urea is a thing. Your piss turns more yellow the more protein you eat. It's strange, but it's true. Next is your carbs. Usually carbs is one of the biggest ways that you get energy, obviously. So it takes up a lot of space, and then it's your fat. Usually all of this is expended for, like, meeting your needs. Needs met. So, this is for your basal stuff. This is often for, like, whatever you're doing throughout your day. And maybe a little of this will also be used for your needs met. And then a little chunk will be stored as your adipose. This is obviously if someone's, like, eating more than necessary. Adipose just means fat tissue, by the way, if anyone's wondering what I'm writing right now. Adipose, just fat tissue. It's fine. Did I know that? Interesting? Yeah. So your body has a hierarchy like this. So first your body will use alcohol, then it'll use protein, then it'll use carbs, then it'll use fat. You tend to... So if you drink a lot of alcohol, it'll take up a lot of this space to meet your needs, right? Let's say I drink way more or something and it takes up like up till here instead. And then my body uses protein. And then my body uses carbs. And that leaves a lot more fat to like be stored instead. So generally alcohol is not actually stored, but it's just used. Drinking a lot will kill you? Oh yeah, that's why it's partly toxic. That's why your body tries to get rid of it ASAP. Obviously, like, you know, destroying alcohol, like, your body consumes stuff, and if it can destroy it, it'll destroy it, right? If you drink a lot of alcohol, then, like, your body will try to destroy as much as possible, and the more it, like, breaks down, and the more it gets overwhelmed, and with all the bad stuff that's in alcohol, quote-unquote, it can get overwhelmed to the point where it can't break down enough and dispose of it enough. And that's why you get alcohol poisoning, right? Everything is toxic to some degree. It really is. You can get you can practically, technically, quote-unquote, overdose on protein. That would take a lot of protein. But you technically could, based off of how, like, when protein is broken down, it technically releases some, like, a slight toxin that your body turns into urea, which then is disposed in your urine, right? You can OD in water too. You can. You really can. It's strange, but... Anyways. Let me think. Now that we've talked about this, still a little hierarchy. Okay. Before we start talking about BMI, let's talk about how do you actually calculate what you're supposed to eat? Okay. So there's something called the estimated, and if you want to search this up, if anyone's actually genuinely like, oh, I kind of want to manage how much I'm eating based off of whether I want to gain weight or whether I want to lose weight, right? There's something called the EER. And this is your estimated energy requirement. Yay! Right? Oh, I just, yeah, meant. This practically tells you, generally, kind of how many calories you want to eat to maintain your weight, right? So I'm not gonna write every single section of this down because it's a really big equation. Like, for example, if I wanted to talk about men that are 19 years of age or older, right? If I want to talk about this, one of the ways that this is calculated, and this is gonna be a long ass equation, so get ready. It's 662 subtracted by 9.53 multiplied by your age in years So this is yours. And this is plus, PA stands for physical activity. They put physical activity on a scale, and you're given a specific value. So for example, if I'm talking about someone who is sedentary, or let's talk about someone who's man 19 years or older, that's decently active. Let's say like low active. At least like 30 minutes of moderate activity a day or something like that. Then it's a 1.11. That's the value that's given to it. Why? They've just decided this like number based off of a whole bunch of experiments, whatever they want to call it. And then this is multiplied by, oh my god, how much space do I even have? Oh god. This is multiplied by 15.91, but this isn't a bracket. Multiplied by your weight in kilograms. Sorry guys. Sorry Americans, it's over. Oh, this is also in a bracket, by the way. Plus, don't worry about it. 539.6 multiplied by your height in meters. And this is in meters. And this is all gonna be multiplied by your physical activity number thing. Right? Lots. And then if you calculate this, it'll tell you how many calories you're supposed to eat a day to maintain the same weight. Of course, if you become more active or if you become less active, it'll increase or decrease. So all these numbers, really big silly thing, you could probably find a calculator online that'll tell you. But this thing will tell you how much calories you should probably eat about to maintain the same amount of weight. As long as, like, you know, you're not going through any sort of chronic illness, you're not going through any sort of, like you have... I guess this is for the standard person, practically. Okay, so... basically... yeah. Well, that's basically what ER is. Estimated energy requirement. So how much energy do you actually need to function in a day? Okay. Let me see. Okay. Ugh, BMI. Ugh, I'm reading about it right now. Ugh, I hate BMI so much. Like, disabilities? Not particularly. It depends. Like, obviously, if someone's more sedentary because of a disability, then like they're just categorized in the sedentary area. Like they're not isolated, but more so like, for example, if you have cancer, your body undergoes like destroying of the muscle tissue and stuff like that naturally. Like it just happens because of the illness. Or like if you're using certain medications, sometimes, you know, that medication will say like, oh, you're more prone to gaining weight, right? Or you're more prone to losing weight and stuff like that. And that just, you know, that's life. That's life maintenance. I have medications that are like that tell me like, if I eat too much or if I take this medication, I am prone to gaining weight. Or, for example, hypothyroidism. You're more prone to gaining weight. Even though I never gain weight, like, it's just my metabolism. There's so many different factors. Everything that I say is always a general guideline. This is always just like, wow, this is about what we think it is. Science is always like that. They never know what they're actually doing. They just have a general estimate of what they're doing. They just hope that they're close enough. I say hi, how's it going? Not a diagnosis, exactly. Okay. So, let me think. I'm reading stuff. All of this kind of seems like ... I don't really want to talk about that. It's kind of boring. Oh, nutrition information. Okay. It's time to talk about fad diets. I fucking hate fad diets. Stipulation, medical science is always like that. Right. Okay. So, if someone offers you a diet, and they're like, wow, Suri, look at this cool diet I found. I lost so much weight using this diet. I am now 18 pounds lighter in 2 weeks. It's like, wow, that's unhealthy. We're gonna talk about how do you break down a good or a bad diet. Okay. So, we're gonna go through this couple postulates. Some of these will seem really obvious. Like, you'll read it and you'll be like, duh. But some people actually just don't know. And that's why we just go over it anyways, because, you know. Okay. So, if you want reliable nutrition information that's up to date, there's usually 3 places you can get it. Usually one, often the government will fund stuff like this. I don't know, they just like, you know, oh, we love taking care of our citizens. Our citizens are so lovely. Here, citizens, here's your good information about nutrition, so you can stay healthy. And then, you know, I don't know, war crime or something. Like, I love the 1900s. So this often happens. So often the government actually has a huge pool of like resources like that. No, I just, you know, a lot of nutrition guides were made during the war because, like, so many people were getting unhealthy during war because there was so little food going around during it, and so little resources and workers during the time of war, that the government had to put money into making food guides to keep people healthy so their citizens didn't die while the war was happening. So the reason why I say that is that's the background of it. A lot of food outlines came around, like World War II and World War I and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff is built off each other. Okay. 2, your non-profit institutions. Non-profit. Usually these guys are doing it for just doing it. These are often associated, and this is really important, this is often associated, and always do your research, of course. This is often associated with chronic illness. The reason why is, it's not a bad thing. I hate that people are like, oh, but I don't want to go and do this thing because, like, they're practically saying, like, this is what you have to do if you're, like, diabetic or something like that. But the whole point of these is that you actually have a specific intake of information for your condition, right? Like, I'm certain a lot of us deal with, like, mental health stuff and whatnot. If everyone just acted like mental health stuff did not exist, none of us would actually be able to get help. So, these things kind of feel a little stigmatized sometimes, and that's why you have to do your research on what you're looking at. But often, their purpose is not to stigmatize people, but their purpose is to give information for those who need it. And third, last but not least, education institutions. Of course, these can be a hit or miss, is what I'll call it. Because sometimes for this kind of thing, you'll have student-made papers and stuff like that. Like, for example, I was reading a paper. There's like a lot of these papers, and I find them very fascinating and funny to read sometimes. Because, you know, like, they could be right, but I have no clue if they're right. But there's a lot of these papers. Like, for example, I talked about this. Well, no, I haven't talked about this specific paper. I talked about, like I'm autistic, right? Who else would stream them talking about biology for, like, 3 hours? So, there's these papers that were saying stuff along the lines of that autism was associated with, like, a mold that could be found in, like, the neural system. And, like, that could be found, like components that are released by those kind of bacteria or molds could be identified in the urine of those people, like those who are diagnosed. And some people tried running experiments on whether taking in certain antibacterials would quote-unquote cure autism. And it's fascinating. And those are coming from, like, universities and stuff. So, like, of course, all of this, like, this could be anything. Like, non-profit organizations are also, like, all of these. So, always cross-reference. Always, like, consider, you know, what you're reading. And, like, it could be right, but is it right for you, kind of thing. Are you comfortable with that? Because obviously, we're never gonna pinpoint anything, right? Like, that's the whole point of medical science, is that we don't really know. We just assume a good amount. And we discover new things all the time. So nothing, like, you know, you might be wrong at some point, and that's fine. As long as you're, like, comfortable with whatever you're doing, do it, right? Obviously, if it's not good for you, and it's unhealthy and whatever, and it's obviously unhealthy, like, be mindful of that. But, you know, always concern yourself with who's writing this, why are they writing this, what's their purpose. Like, when I was reading those things about the mold, and obviously, like, the entire time I'm thinking, like, they think autism is, like, a Last of Us kind of mold, where we're, like, you know, oh no, the people, the people are turning autistic to the mold. Like, I'm losing my mind reading these, right? And, when I was reading it, it comes off very, like, it's very well spoken and whatever, and whatnot. Like, there's a handful of these if you search it up. You can. But you search it up and you look into it, and you see that a lot of these documents, what is their end goal? Is curing it. It's always about curing it. And it's never, like, the whole recent outburst of, like, medicine has been, like, learning to accept chronic illness and just living with it. Like, you know, some of us are gonna be depressed, some of us are gonna struggle with, like, metabolism. Some of us are gonna struggle with a chronic illness that we're never gonna be cured of. But it's all about living happily and healthily in your own body comfortably. So reading all of these papers and all of them being like, we use this antibacterial and this person unautistic to themselves. It's like, okay. So the whole point of this experiment, the whole point of this research was to cure it in the end. And obviously I'm like, why does it matter? Why do we need to cure it? Can't we just, like, exist? So that's what I'm saying. Always read what you're reading, always look into the intention, and I'll break that down further later on. So, it's, like, the intent, if the intention is generally just, you know, pretty crude, sometimes, you know, if it's not comfortable for you, don't go with it. Anyways, these usually your three major reliable sources of information. Take it with a grain of salt. Of course, there's going to be misinformation. There always is. You learn things like 20 years later. Like, there was literally, like, what, for example, what is it called? For example, there was a medicine made. Like, I think it was something to do with pregnant women or something. It was something about, like, menstrual stuff. Anyways, womanly things. There was a medicine made and it was denied access in Canada, but it was allowed access in the US. And what happened is that it ended up with a lot of neural defects, and that's because this medicine that was passed was had two different I'm gonna say this, but this is gonna make no sense to people. Two different enantiomers, and that just means, like, the configuration of the molecule, exact same things, same amount of carbons, whatever, same amount of nitrogen, oxygen, whatever, same amount of chemicals, but the way that they're put together is a little different, just slightly in, like, certain parts. Yes. So basically what happened is that it ended up with a whole bunch of neural defects and whatever, and people were, like, freaking out about why is this happening and whatever, and they figured out that this medicine is the reason why. And this happens often. Obviously less often now, because, you know, there's a lot of precautions taken. I'm certain we've all learned about, like, why did they let kids smoke in the, like, you know, in the 50s or something? Like, okay, yeah. They let kids do that. Like, it happens. And, you know, it's about, like, preserving and, like, enjoying your life while you have it, right? I think that's the beauty of it, at least. But that's my personal thing. Personal nitpick. So it's not always about like, oh, is this? Are we absolutely sure? No. Do you think humans are ever gonna be absolutely sure? Never, never. So when it comes to diets, right? When it comes to specific diets, often you ask, for example, I'm gonna start typing these because I'm too lazy to like write it out. So, was the info based off of well-designed experiments? That's one question. I need to start putting random text around me. Oh my god, that's like unreadable, but it's okay. Right. That was info based off of well-designed experiments. So, like, I feel like sometimes people read things and then just don't actually read. They're like, oh, see, look at this. Look at that thing. See, it says that my argument is correct. Okay, does it have a good control? Like, what are we comparing this to, if it's correct? Like, what is the control here? Like, is this quantitative data? Is this qualitative? Like, were the subjects, quote-unquote, like, cleansed in a way? So that it's a clean slate when it happens? It's all that kind of stuff, right? Basing arguments off the wiki. I'll use a different font for this one. Or a different color, so it's easier. Okay, were the results interpreted correctly? Okay, well, what the hell does that mean, right? Like, question mark? Okay, I'm saying you guys have all consumed news before. And, like, I'm saying you guys have literally consumed part of... Like, by being here, you've consumed part of this. If you've ever seen a clickbait headline, that is literally what this is. If you've ever seen anything on Twitter, like, you guys know what Dextero is? Holy fuck. Sometimes... Sometimes I'd be reading some Twitter headlines, and it drives me in circles when I actually read what the thing is. It'll be like... This YouTuber said what? And the YouTuber will literally be saying like, I hate this person because they're so good at what they do. And they'll only take the I hate part. You know, like, it's... Please be cognitive. For medical stuff, this is often really important when it comes to comparing it to humans, right? Yes, we're aware that mammals are very extremely close to each other. Everything in life is very extremely close in terms of DNA and whatnot, but there are differences. So when you read something and it says, we did an experiment on a rat, and the rat told us this. He told us with his little, like, mouse face, he told us a little secret from the bird that told us that this medicine cures cancer in the rat. And people love using rats. Like, but you have to consider, does this actually work in humans at some point? Because, you know, it might work on the little rat, but a lot of things work on other animals and then do not work on humans very well. So, consider, if something says, we tested this on an animal or something, does that work with me? Does that work with me? Like, for example, if I tested something, let's say, on a bug, and this is very exaggerated and for a good reason, and I gave this bug this certain kind of sugar, and what happened with the bug is that it did not gain weight or whatever. And then everyone's like, see, this sugar that I made does not contribute to weight. So therefore, I have now made the very first sugar that does not add on to your weight. You can drink and eat this sugar as much as you want, and it doesn't contribute to weight. But then you realize that this bug only needs a certain kind of sugar to build its, like, little bug shell and everything like that, and its little wings and everything. And suddenly, we start eating this sugar a crap ton, and we go, wow, humans are gaining weight, that's crazy. So, whenever you get experiments like that, make sure to consider, like, you know, if this sugar affects this part of this animal's body, does it affect this part of humans' bodies as well? We all have different types of, like, proteins and different, enzymes and stuff like that. So, some might be more sensitive in one animal than another. So, consider that. Okay, besides this. This one is my favorite one to think about. Who benefits? I made the perfect example just earlier, talking about the government. I love the government, by the way. Haha, smile. Who benefits from whatever we're doing right now? Oh, it's like all the way over there. Is that close enough? Yes, there we go. Who benefits? So, obviously, the government was like, wow, our citizens are dying. The government wants people to live. So, you know, they might be giving health, nutrition information to keep people alive, which is a good thing. I like being alive. This is great. Look at me. I am moving around and living and existing. That's perfect. I'm so happy this is happening. But when it comes to like, you know, their intention might have been a little skewed because, you know, they kind of just, they want their society to function and to have living people to do, you know, their labor. As most civilizations do. I've seen it. 1500 years. I've seen it all. So, but the thing is, I can say that the fact is that the core part of this was that they wanted their citizens to be alive and healthy enough to work. That's a good thing. So, therefore, even though the government technically benefits, the intention in the end is healthy for me. Now, what's the difference between this? When I read this, I swear to God, I've read so many of these like different products that are like, here is this amazing product that no sugar at all, zero sugar, zero calories. You know Tic Tacs? They always say that they're sugar-free. They're not sugar-free. I swear to God, they're not sugar-free. They just don't have enough sugar to be considered like a sugar product because they're so tiny. They're so tiny that they don't have enough sugar within every one of them to be considered a sugar product. So therefore, it's not sugar-free. It's actually, it does have sugar. It just doesn't have enough to be considered sugar-full, I guess. Right? So, who benefits? Obviously, Tic Tac benefits from that because they get to write sugar-free on their products all the time. But is that actually true? Not really. If you eat enough of them, you're gonna get sugar. So, be mindful when things, you know, written organic or whatever. Make sure to do your research if you can. Obviously, like, I'm not gonna say, like, sit there in the grocery store for 5 hours and research every single object you touch. Like, no, I'm certain you can just read the back of it. If you learn to read some chemicals or something, and read a couple, like, you just need to read, like, 2 or 3, like, general nutrition guidelines that will say, hey, if it says fructose, that's actually sugar, by the way. It doesn't always have to be glucose, you know? Like, you don't always... You just need to read a couple things, and you literally just become, like, so much more educated on it. So, who benefits? Read the company, read their background. If it's organic from a farmer's market, I'm pretty certain the farmer probably wants to sell his product, so it's probably organic. But if you're reading it from, like, the big megacorp company that's like, wow, you know what would be so cool? If we bait a whole bunch of people. I think that profits are gonna go through the roof with this one. And so, just be mindful. There are big companies that will do good things, but just be mindful. Sometimes people get greedy. Alright, another thing. This is also one of my favorites. Has it stood the test? Oh, has it stood the test of time? I love the test of time. box, eh. Okay. Has it stood the test of time? What does that mean? Even. Okay. So, you know how I just talked about how people are like, wow, look at this new sugar-free item I just made. Isn't this amazing? Isn't this so healthy and good for you? You should buy this. Buy it right now. I know you want to lose weight. You want to buy this product. It's sugar-free. Like, okay, great, thanks. Have you guys seen like those have you seen TikTok, like, what's it called? Product advertisements? Have you seen like TikTok product advertisements or Twitter product advertisements that always have this like look at this brand new toy. This is America's favorite toy ever. America's favorite. And it's like, okay, chill. First off, the whole point of has it stood the test of time? Is this still America's favorite toy in like 3 months? Probably not. Okay, so therefore probably not valid. Not a valid title. There's other things like, obviously you can, if you think something is good enough to buy it off the spot, go ahead and test your luck, I guess, kind of thing. If you believe it enough, then, you know, try it, do your research, and if you think it's worth it, that's great. Like, for example, there's like, I was doing research on VR tracking stuff. Oh, look at me in 3D. Oh my god, look at me. I was researching about what kind of trackers to buy, if I ever wanted to buy them. There's Mokopi, there's, the Vive trackers, there's slime trackers, and I was like, damn, slime trackers are so goddamn cheap. And they're on like a Kickstarter and everything. And I was like, okay, this just recently released. I don't know if I trust it. And it turns out a lot of people went through the process, and great, they're actually really good, they just take forever to get to certain places. So, even though people were advertising it a whole bunch, like, this is the next level of like VR tracking because it's super cheap and it might be difficult to set up, but it's not like a bajillion dollars. So this is like a step up for a lot of people. I waited it out, and it turns out it was a step up for a lot of people because it was cheaper and more accessible for people to not cough up $1,500 for trackers. So therefore, stood the test of time. Congratulations, slime trackers, you've done it. Yay! And lastly, we have, does it pose a risk? Is it bad? Like, what are the side effects? like, for example, talking about the slime trackers again. They said that it's really hard to set them up sometimes. It might be a little more difficult too. And some people say that it takes a really long time for them to deliver, right? Just factual statements about it. Okay, is that a high enough risk that it's worth what I'm getting? Probably, right? Like, you're getting trackers for cheap. Yeah, sure, you have to kind of suck it up on the timing for like the waiting for them to come in. But, you know, better than nothing. But this, super important in health, right? Is me taking whatever I'm going to take worth the risk that I'm going to get? Is it lethal or is it general? Like, for example, some people do not like certain types of medication, like antidepressants and stuff, because that makes them gain weight. And that's just one of the common side effects of antidepressants, and people try to choose ones that don't make them gain weight. That's fine. If they think that gaining weight is a high enough risk for them, that they don't want it anymore, that's chill. That's chill. Like, it's all about personal preference, of course. Sometimes the risk is big enough that it gets banned from, like, you know, Europe, North America, wherever. So yeah, all these, super important. Okay, so, yes. Sensible. This, good. Right? Okay. Moving on. Hello. Okay, so often nutrition trait, like, I'm sure you guys have seen like daily value and whatever, like I talked about. Usually, often it'll have the name, the list of ingredients, and the nutrition facts table. That's often what's put on the back of like every consumable item. Sometimes it'll have like medical ingredients separated. So it'll have I forget what they call it. It's something like medical or drugs or like whatever as their section, like separate section, and then it'll say like other ingredients, like a non-medicinal ingredients or something like that. Now, this is general things about nutrition labels. All items are listed all the time usually. The highest weighted item is first listed. So if you ever read the back of something and it goes like, the first thing you read is like sugar. That is the heaviest object in there. Like right now I have like a bag of granola in front of me. I can read whole grain rolled oats is the very first thing. So the thing that's the most, like the heaviest item in that entire bag, the thing that takes up the most mass of all of that product is rolled oats. Wow, I love rolled oats. Then next, it says sugar. I can read it, brown sugar and honey. Because this is like a granola that I put in like yogurt. So, I know. Next biggest thing in there, sugar. Inactive ingredients. Yes, active and inactive. So, heaviest first, and then goes down. Anything that's an additive, a food coloring, a flavoring, always is listed as well. So often you'll read things that will say like natural flavors, or it'll say something like artificial flavor for this or whatever. That has to be listed. So usually when you read the back of it, it's like it tells you enough to make your own decision about it. So often what you'll see as well is that people will group things together. So like I said, for mine it says sugars and then it says brown sugar and honey in brackets. So sometimes they'll group things together because they just don't want to write them all separately by saying like brown sugar is the most, and then it's this, and then it's honey. They'll just put them together because they're like, oh, they're practically just all sugars, right? Other than this, so I talked about this. I'm gonna draw it out really quickly. Well, let me see if I can mock a silly little list. So it'll say something like nutrition, some nutrition. Yeah, that's readable. And it'll say something, and it'll say this, and it'll say per, usually blank, and then it'll after that it'll usually list the calories, and then it'll usually it's fat afterwards, fat. Oh, this is so readable. Oh, certainly. And then it'll usually break down the fat into like saturated or trans, I'm pretty certain. Or it'll do saturated and then it'll go trans. So saturated and then it'll be trans. If you ever read trans fat on anything that you eat, you should run. Run as fast as you can. Run away. And then it'll say stuff like salt or sodium. I'll write sodium. It usually says sodium. Sodium. It'll say carbs, and then sometimes it will tell you how much fiber, for example. Carbs. So you get the picture. It'll break everything down that you're eating and whatever. And then usually down here it'll have all your vitamins. Vitamins. This is usually if something is heavy in vitamins, but it depends on the product, of course. Okay. Good. Fat is bad? Fat isn't bad. It's the type of fat that's important. Fat is only bad if you're trying to like not gain as much weight. Anything that's like olive oil is fine. Natural fats, like in plants, are fine usually. So stuff like plant-based margarine is pretty much better than anything. Olive oil is usually the best, is what I heard. But based off the Mediterranean diet is what I'm basing it off of. Saturated fats are not good. Trans fats are not usually good. Trans fats are the worst, by the way. Saturated fats, not really good. Unsaturated fats, a little better than, you know, most fats. Usually the most concerning thing about fat is that it has a lot of cholesterol in it, paired together practically. But yes, fat usually is okay if you eat fat on like a steak or something. There you go, Suri. I'm good. I'm talking about nutrition. Coconut oil. I don't know much about coconut oil. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how it's produced, so I'm not gonna make a comment about it. I don't know how good. I need to search it up. Sorry, I'm reading about it now. What I'm reading from Harvard is that it has contribution to raising LDL, which is the bad cholesterol practically. Low density lipoproteins. But it's better than animal fats and trans fats. But it's not as heart healthy as liquid plant oil such as olive oil or canola oil. And that's what I'm getting from Brigham and Women's Faulkner Hospital. So it seems like coconut oil has some sort of connection to like raising LDL in comparison to like the other plant-based oils. So like, see, like it just took me like 2 seconds to search up coconut oil like research, and I just like Harvard says something about it. This like hospital says something about it. The Mayo Clinic says something about it. So it seems like, you know, cross-referencing, it's enough that I can just, you know, peer at it and be like, oh, this is probably not as good. Hi, nerd, hello. I know, right? Olive oil is so good. Anyways, talking about this. So usually you'll have all of these, and then in a little section on the side, it won't have like a bar, but usually there's a percent, right? And this is your daily value. Daily value percent. So all of these will have like a little percent here, and I talked about it already. 15 and greater, 15%. Equal or greater is a lot. This is the general guideline. So like this can mean a good or bad thing. Like if I see 15% trans fat, oh my god, run as fast as you can, run away. But if I'm seeing 15% like, I don't know, it's really hard to overdose on vitamin C, for example, before you like start seeing bad effects. So like, you know, I wouldn't really care. Like be careful, of course. And then anything that's 5% or lower is usually little. I won't say very little, but little. It's little enough, right? Good. You seen these? Usually vitamins will say something, it'll say something, and then like iron usually is like followed by it, and then it'll say calcium and stuff. You know, you want to be mindful about like what you're eating. If you're eating a lot of things that are super heavy in like, for example, calcium, you should be mindful that you probably shouldn't eat too much calcium, or else your bones actually degrade more. Because your body's trying to get rid of all the calcium in the bloodstream, right? So calcium taken up by the body, and then you have way too much in your bloodstream, your body wants to get rid of it, and whatever. But yes. So, daily percentage value. What is this based off of? It was literally developed for food labels. So, this is based off of, and I will write this here so people know, this is based off of a 2,000 calorie diet. And 2,000 kcals, or calories, whatever people want to, calories. Take that as you will. If you are a very active person, this is probably not enough food for you. This is just based off of the general consensus. 2,000 calories is often seen as like the benchmark for nutrition for most adults, right? So it's for consumers to be able to compare products. So 5% is often low, and then 15% or above is often high. 2,000 kcals, again, general consensus on most adults. So, if you are a bodybuilder and you want a lot of like, I don't know, fat or something so you can store a whole bunch of fat, this, whatever's written the percentages, keep in mind this is probably a little skewed. So if it says 15% is a lot, or if it says Like, let's say you have 10% fat in this, and it's like the good fat, quote unquote. Well, if you need 3,000 kcals based off of the exercise that you do daily, you probably need way more than just that 10%. Like a little more at least. Brain breaks? No, it's okay. Thank you for the $5 super chat. But yes. So, keep this in mind. Measure for adults, not for kids? Exactly. So, obviously, like I talked about before, you know how I talked about EER? Energy expenditure stuff? Not expenditure. What was it called again? Oh, I forget the acronym already. Fuck. Anyways, the big equation. The big equation, right? The big equation is practically telling you, like, for a specific age generally. So there's a specific equation for younger children. 2000 base and 2500 base? Oh, I've never actually seen that before, huh? Is that actually a thing? I've never seen a 2500 base. That's actually interesting. I like that. So. TV changes it significantly for sun dragons? Oh, it does. I need so much vitamin D. I love the sun. Gotta sit in the sun all the time. Well, they used to, not anymore. Oh, okay. Okay. So generally, there's so let's say, like for example, 75 grams of fat total is often like 35% of the energy expenditure. For example, sugars is like 100 grams is about 20% of energy as well. Those are kind of like the general stamps. So that's why when you like look at the back and it says something in grams on the side, like it'll say something in grams like over here, like right there, like where vitamins is, or like where like carbs or sodium, it'll say in like brackets or something, it'll say grams, and then it'll say how much of that percent it counts for. So they just do that for more clarity of like how like so you can count it if you want to. But yes. Let me think. What else? Oh! Okay, here's an interesting thing. We're gonna start talking about random labels that they throw on foods. I love talking about this. This is like one of my favorite things, because people actually don't know what any of this means. Like, I didn't know what any of this meant until I started like learning it. So, free. If something is quote-unquote free, let's say it's sugar-free, or fat-free, or something like that, it has less than 0.5 grams per serving. Per serving. So if a Tic Tac serving is a singular Tic Tac, and it has less than 0.5 grams of sugar, and if the weight of the Tic Tac is literally less than 0.5 grams or something, or you know, a lot of that takes up like in different form, then obviously it's going to be considered sugar-free. So for fat-free and for sugar-free, it's usually less than 0.5 grams per serving. Again, per serving is really important, because some people think like, oh, look at this cereal. This cereal has such little sugar. It's so good for me. And then they eat 8 servings of that cereal. Like, have you ever actually read how much a serving of a cereal bowl is? Because it does, like, I eat more than a serving of cereal sometimes. Like, it's like, they skew it a lot. So always read what is per serving. Sometimes they'll say cup, sometimes they'll say it in grams, sometimes they'll say it per cookie, or like something like that. So, technicalities, usually really baity. That's why you should always look at what the nutrition label says. And let's say, for example, on my thing, it says my serving is per cup of granola. I definitely ate more than 1 cup in like the past, like in like a day at some point. I used to really like eating granola and yogurt. So, So I definitely ate 2 servings of that. So like that's a lot of granola. And this thing has like, let me read it. It has like 20. It has what? 15% saturated fat. Like that's a lot of saturated fat. Although it has 46% fiber. Like that's all really good. Like, well, not the saturated fat, but I mean like the fiber is good. But that's a lot of saturated fat. Like I just ate a lot of saturated fat from that. So like even though I know these things, it doesn't stump me from eating anything ever. But like I ate a lot of that. That was a lot. It has 20 plus servings in it, right? Like that's a lot. Anyways, okay. When something says low, for example, usually it's about 3 grams or less. So first, 0.5 grams or less is free, and then low is between 0.5 to 3 grams. This is often for like cholesterol, saturated fat, K-calories, sodium, whatever. Usually 0.5 to 3 grams. Oh, for cholesterol actually has a separate thing. They have 20 milligrams because cholesterol is very picky. People don't like cholesterol. For sodium, for example, it's like 140 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams of food. So again, this is like in comparison to portion sizes and whatever. So a lot of these will say low, little, few, low source of, yada 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 yada. So it's never actually free. It's when something writes free, it just means less than 0.5 grams. Sometimes it's like a little misleading, sometimes it's not, you know? It all depends on what you think is valid or not. Usually it's because you can never actually have a product that has no sugar at all, but you can have a product that's close enough. Again, all technicalities, all close enough, you know? For example, lean or extra lean. If you ever read lean meat, this is often for like meat, poultry, seafood, what else? Anything like that. Again, this is a portion size. 10 grams of fat per 100 grams, right? So, that's like, if it's lean, it has to have at least 10% or less fat within like 100 grams. Extra lean is often 7.5, so that's even less than the 10%, right? It's like 7.5%. So anything that says source of, usually it has at least greater than the 5% daily value. So again, like I said, doesn't mean it's great. I said that 15 to 15% is about the general consensus of being good enough, you know? Anything above 15% is considered a good source of, and anything above 25% of the daily value per serving is an excellent source of. And that's usually used for vitamins, that's usually used for calcium, that's usually used for fiber. Like I said, this granola I have in front of me is 46% fiber, right? For a serving, which is like, that's an excellent source of fiber. Let me see. Reduced often means that something contains 25% loose nutrients from the reference product. So if I say like reduced trans fats, that means usually, let's say something, or I shouldn't use trans fats, I should use a different thing. Let's say it's reduced sugar, right? And usually the main product has like 40% sugar or something. Reduced would mean you just subtract 25% of that daily value and drop the portion size of sugar down to it, right? So again, free, practically no sugar, but there's still sugar. There's still fat in it technically, but not enough to be considered significant. Low means it's a lot lower than, you know, the standard, quote unquote. Lean or extra lean just practically means how much fat per 100 grams of that food is there. Source of means it's within 5% of the daily value to 15%. Good source of means it's at the 15% value or higher, and an excellent source of is 25% or higher. Right? So, all technicalities, a lot of them depend on what the portion size is, a lot of it depends on what the reference is, and all that kind of stuff. So, let's say like, I have a mango, and then I have another mango. But this mango is low sugar, right? How is this mango considered low in sugar? It's probably because it has like... what? Well, I don't think they actually say... I guess they do kind of say low in sugar. But, let's say... Actually, a better way to put it is bags of chips. Lots of chips have like this version and then the sugar or the salt, low in sodium sugar, or not sugar. Yeah. Chip bag, low sodium chip bag. And so this low in sodium chip bag just means that it probably has like less than 140 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams of those chips. In comparison to its reference product. Is that still... like, that's still kind of salty, but it's not as bad as the original product, you know? You picked a hard example? I know. I fumbled my words. I was like, oh, low sugar is hard to say because that's in comparison, but mangoes are a variant. They're fruit. I drink my tea now. And there's all these kind of things for like... There's stuff for like function claims as well. Like, there's a whole thing about like vitamins too. There's like... Okay, for example, you can make claims about... If something is really high in fiber, you can make claims about like... You know, this is a good product for, you know, laxation. This will make shitting easier, you know? Just because it's high in fiber. Or there's probiotic claims, right? I'm sure you guys have seen probiotic yogurt before. Where you like, you know, what the hell is a probiotic yogurt? Well, there's bacteria technically, you know, part of the yogurt that they've kept there. But it's the healthy bacteria, so it's a good one for your gut. There's general health claims that will say like a healthy choice, good for you, whatever, based off of what it has, right? And often it'll say product of blank, or local farm, or whatever, that kind of stuff, you know? So, often, I don't really know what America does for this. But there's also like health products, natural health product claims. So anything that you buy that's medical, other than like actual drugs and whatever, but like anything that you buy like vitamins and stuff like that are over the counter. So like vitamins, natural health products like stuff for like strengthening hair or whatever, herbal remedies, and like homeopathic products and stuff like that. Often that's regulated to claim claim what they have in it separately. That's medical, like we talked about, like active ingredients and stuff like that. Often they have to claim that very directly, so people know what they're taking, right? You have any Riz, Suri? Oh god, no. I don't think I've ever flirted with anyone in my life. At least like tried to. I think I sometimes say things as like, you know, like general compliments and something, and then my like friends will be like, "Oh my god, that's so bold," and I'll be like, "What?" Oh, I just saying I like that person's like outfit. I just like their blazer. I think sweaters and cardigans are pretty neat, you know. Do you say "hey baby girl" to people? No. You don't understand. I say "hey baby girl" to my one friend in class, just to annoy the shit out of her. Because every time I run into her in class and we have to walk around and then I randomly run into her, I often just respond to her immediately by saying, "Hey, baby girl," as she's passing me. So, one person. Right? Oh yeah. Dang, I covered a lot more than I thought I would. Than I thought I would in this. Now I'm like running out of things. I'm literally out of things. What can I read really quickly? What can I nerd emoji out? Get my glasses, put my glasses on. Let me think. If anyone has any questions, I can try and answer them with the knowledge I have. But all of this is really complicated math, or not math. Complicated equation stuff. There's like some of this that I actually don't understand myself sometimes. Like, I have such a hard time understanding how blood pressure works. It like sends me to the moon sometimes, trying to understand it. And it's just really, it's fun and educational. Yeah! Can excess vitamins have negative effects? Yes, a lot of them can, actually. A lot of them. That's why they say only take 2 vitamin gummies a day. Stop trying to eat more vitamin gummies than you need. You're not going to get more powerful, okay? It's not gonna help. Usually they'll put the amount of vitamin gummies you have to eat way lower than like they'll put it at a sufficient amount, right? To meet a certain amount. But then they'll like so the daily value, right? The thing that's like the right amount of vitamins per day is like just in the middle of like where everyone thinks it's the best amount, I guess. Like where it's common to be the best amount for being a functional human being before it has negative effects. So I forget what the term is. Oh, it's a 4-word term and I'm forgetting it. It's something like frick. What is it called? Oh, wait. Tolerable upper intake. It's your tolerable upper intake. So it's a maximum intake of a nutrient unlikely to cause adverse health effects. So that upper intake level, that's like the max. Like no one will ever put more than that in any sort of product ever. They will always put it like way below that. And once you get to that amount, usually it's like this, like once you get to that amount, like you are for sure, usually you will not get any sort of bad side effects by then. And then if you start getting slightly more and eating more of it, okay, now you're gonna slowly probably start feeling effects like nausea or whatever depending on what you're eating. So there is toxicity to vitamins. It's not good to just eat as many as possible. You're not gonna get healthier that way. Point of nutrition and the point of healthy nutrition is eating consistently a good amount. You know? Your skincare routine and figure out which one works for your skin. That's like due to like personal chemistry, right? Like for example, like I think a good example is a lot of like epileptic medicines. You will not always find a medicine to control a chronic illness immediately. And that will happen for casual chronic too. Like I call it casual chronic because people don't like, a lot of things are chronic, right? Like people usually use the term chronic for like something bad that's happening, quote unquote, or something that's long term, that's like has its negative side effects to it. But there's a lot like, you know, physical chemistry is chronic, obviously. You have it for your entire life. So stuff like your face and whatever, you have a certain chemistry to your face that only certain medicines will work for you because there's certain bacteria that live on your face, right? Like, have you ever noticed that you have a different type of acne than another person does? Like, I've seen like for me, for example, I don't get like, you know, a whole bunch of stuff on my face, right? Usually I will just get like 1 or 2 really big pimples every so often. Because, you know, I am a growing girl and pimples and acne is normal. We all get them. But I don't ever get rashes, right? But that's because usually certain types of bacteria cause that kind of thing. So I have the type of bacteria that will cause like certain kinds of like acne or whatever. Or like pimples. I don't get like insane acne. I just get big pimples randomly sometimes. But for other people, they'll get like rashes or they'll get like large splurges of acne throughout like certain sections of their face. And that's just because of the microbacteria and stuff that just live on your face all the time. And it will cause certain kinds of acne and stuff. So finding the correct treatment is based off of finding what will actually curb those bacteria and kill them, but don't kill enough of them that it's unhealthy for your face, stuff like that. So, right? You have to have bacteria, for the bacteria to eat dairy? Oh, are you talking about lactobacillus? That's in your gut. That's like, so that's in your intestines usually. Is lactobacillus? I believe it sits in your like your small intestine. Because it would die in your stomach. A lot of the bacteria that like, you know, eat your food are often in the colon, and I think lactobacillus is either in the colon or in the small intestine. I can't remember which one, but that's the thing that practically breaks down dairy. Usually it breaks down dairy before your colon bacteria starts eating the dairy, because if the colon bacteria eat dairy, then that's what causes gas. Like, you know, like a lot of people who are lactose intolerant get really gassy. That's because they don't have the bacteria that eat the dairy and don't make gas before the bacteria that do eat dairy and make a gas eat it, right? I still get acne on doll, including my twin brother, so it sucks. Yeah, and that's just like, that's how it is, right? Like, body just like, you know, that's literally the same as being lactose intolerant. Sometimes people will not have the right bacteria, or will have like different compositions of bacteria within their body that just conflict with each other, you know? Well, yeah, like the enzyme is in the bacteria is what's mostly what people say. Is that like, that enzyme is made by that bacteria, but it's not made by humans normally. Sorry for being like, getting back from work? No worries. Does a shark have bones? I take a big guess right now. Such a cute rig, oh my god, thank you! I made it based off of a base. So, yeah. Is a bacteria alive? Yes. You have bacteria literally everywhere. I hate to break it to people who are like huge germaphobes, but there are good bacteria all the time. Like, there's literally colonies of bacteria just sitting in your colon, in your stomach, and all of the kind of like little organ places. There is bacteria in your mouth right now, and it's just sitting there, right? Like, that's literally what plaque is. It's like colonies of bacteria. That's why you want to brush your teeth often, because you don't want bacteria to build up there. But there's always going to be bacteria there. It's a moist, warm environment. So, you know, bacteria loves that kind of stuff. You'll be stressed out, right? You just need to learn that, like, you know, like how, you know, funny part about biology is that it mocks itself a lot. Like, you see all these things like a big forest that has a whole bunch of animals that work together. Like, oh, the rabbits reproduce and then the wolves eat them. And then the rabbits reproduce and the wolves eat them. And the wolves die off, and then when they die, they decompose, and that makes mushrooms grow. And the mushrooms turn that, and they fix nitrogen or something like that. And then it gives it back to the plants, and the plants can grow, and then the bunnies can eat them. And then the wolves will eat the bunnies. And like, you know, it's that kind of cycle. Bacteria are the exact same thing. Like, even eukaryotic cells have like little colonies inside of them. Like, you know, the mitochondria was never just a thing that was made by the cell. The mitochondria was a bacteria that was eaten by another bacteria, practically, to make eukaryotic cells. It was never just one thing, ever. Mitochondria. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Dude, I hated learning about the mitochondria. Oh my god, learning about the mitochondria gave me an aneurysm. Oh my god. Does she have bacteria? I wonder. I wonder. Maybe she likes eating human foods then, yeah. It's not a powerhouse of a cell? Well, it is! It is, but it was a cell itself. Like, the mitochondria was its own cell at some point. It was just an aerobic cell that existed. It was an aerobic bacteria that existed. And then another cell decided to eat it, but not kill it. It just ate it, and now there's one cell inside of another cell, and now you're just sitting there. Like, it's like this. Like, if I draw it out. Ooh, here's our silly little mitochondria, and usually it has its little flabs and whatever. And this guy loves making energy. He is an energy producer. Wow, look at him go. Boom. And along came well, not the eukaryotic. It wasn't eukaryotic yet. Along came this guy. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Oh no, watch this. Dun 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 dun. Oh no, help him. Oh, what is, oh no. And then boop. He ate him. And then later on he realized, whoa, this guy's making me a whole bunch of energy. And he's actually really nice. I think he's a great roommate. And so before killing him, he decided to break this down. This is a very simplified version of it, but he decided to break this down. And boom. Now there's just a little guy that floats around in him. And this little guy makes energy still. He still makes energy. Look! Wow, he's producing energy still. But now he's giving energy all over the cell. And that's why this guy likes it. Because in this, what happens is that now this big guy will now give him food. He will feed him. In return for this guy to give him energy. So, ooh, energy. I'm pointing it to the nucleus so it's a little more clear, but it doesn't go to the nucleus. Anyways. Right? Live inside me? Exactly. So, I think it's, obviously, as time, nature develops. This guy is now reliant on, like, he can't just leave now. Like, he's lived here for so long that he evolved enough that he can't just leave and exist by himself or else he's gonna die. So now he's kind of stuck here because of evolution. So he's just a little guy that lives within us. But if you want to know a fun fact, this little guy. So you know how I always draw these little flaps? This is actually true based off of the structure of it. He has little flaps. Interestingly enough, he has his own DNA. So funnily enough, you have prehistoric, old motherfucker DNA in you. This guy just has DNA in him. His own DNA. And it just exists in you. He just gets to chill. For real, you can search it up. Mitochondria have their own prehistoric DNA in them. And this is the thing that makes ribosomes, which live within it. Like, there's little ribosomes, and these things make protein, right? These things produce protein and whatever, and this is what helps him, like, the DNA that's in here helps this guy make the energy that he's gonna make, and all that kind of stuff, but he just has it. He has just his own little DNA and stuff like that. He's a silly little guy. He's just a silly little guy. Isn't that fascinating? Do they store moss? I don't think they store moss. Yes. ATP hydrolysis? No. Dude, anything to do with how, like, mitochondria makes energy gives you an aneurysm. Like, if I could power my brain cells hard enough to like really try to explain it, but oh my god. It just gives you an aneurysm thinking about it. Fungus and the how it's different from bacteria. Well, I can say that a lot of that is like a lot of fungi are usually eukaryotic. So the whole basis of them is like where is it? I'm searching through my notes. There's something I have like a wait. I have a thing talking about all of like different types of bacteria. Anyways, fungi are just eukaryotic. That's why they're different from bacteria. Bacteria are prokaryotic, which means like they just live by themselves. Fungi are like colonies of eukaryotes usually. So the reason why they're different is because they have things like mitochondria in them. Versus like bacteria, which just have their own enzymes that float within them. They don't have little guys that live in them anymore. I say anymore, but they never had little guys that live in them. So, like, this little guy right here is the whole reason we're called eukaryotes, practically. He's not... like, mitochondria itself is not why, but things that are, like, little organelles is what they call them, because they're, like, little cells, almost. Like that, I'm certain you've heard of, like, the Golgi apparatus, or you've probably heard of the... like, the rough ER, or the smooth ER. Like, those are all, like, their own... I don't know, components, almost? And that's what makes eukaryotic cells. And versus, like, bacteria kind of just have, like, a blob of DNA in the center. A whole bunch of, like, free-floating, like, ribosomes. And then just kind of, like, maybe some stored granules of stuff and whatever. But they just function differently because of that. I'm trying to find an art thing. Or, like, I have, like, a little page that has, like, a whole bunch of... oh, this. I literally named this bro.png because I was studying for an exam. And I was learning about different types of bacteria. And, like, for example, like, there's sections like proteobacteria, actinobacteria, firmicutes, tenericutes, bacteriodids. Like, stuff like that. I had to, like, oh my god, I had to memorize all of those and, like, learn about how they ferment things and how, like, they produce energy. Are they gram-positive? Are they gram-negative? What's examples of them? What kind of, like, diseases do they cause? Like, do they have a cell wall? I also had to learn about, like, the types of bacteria that all STIs are. Why? Well, I know why, but, like, oh, that shit was so, yeah, like, a metric question? Sure. Where's the mold lure? You like yeast talking about fermenting beer? What is it called? Kombucha? Kombucha. A lot of people like kombucha. Is 1 milliliter equal to 1 gram? That depends, really, on density. Like, if you're talking about water... Like... oh, this is difficult to say, kid. If you're talking about water, then 1 milliliter is equal to, like, 1 gram, right? Because the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cubed. And a centimeter cubed for water... like, usually people say centimeter cubed is 1 milliliter, right? But if you're talking about anything else, any sort of mixture, the density will be different. So sometimes it won't equal 1 gram. Like, you'll have something like, I don't know. What's a liquid chemical I can think of off the top of my head? Oh, fuck. I don't know. I can't think of something off the top of my head. You have, like, syrup or something. you'll have like 1 milliliter of syrup, but it'll be way heavier than 1 milliliter of water. That's just because syrup is so much more dense, you know? Milliliter is distance? It's not distance. It's a volume. That's why it's centimeters cubed. Milliliter is like, usually people say milliliter is centimeter cubed. Oh, are you saying oh, yeah, milliliter, right? Yeah, okay, you were saying milliliter. Not me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Orange juice? Yeah, that's fair. Fair comparison. 1 milliliter of syrup won't equal to 1 gram? Technically, yeah, I'd say. My blood is filled with Dr. Pepper. Uh-oh. It just depends. Different densities, right? Gram per centimeter cube is a density. But yeah. Oh my gosh, I've run out of things to talk about. Uh-oh. It's Jover. Yeah, take care. Do you consider yourself a nerd? A little. Just a little. What's your major? I guess it's a mix of biology and medicine. I'm in a pre-med course, so... Oh, the curse of having to take organic chemistry anyways. Just a little? In what terms? In terms of too many nerd facts. Too many. I'm sitting in my big old chair. I feel like I'm like a silly little CEO sitting in my big old chair. My arms are sore, dude. Why? Wait. How's it going again? Why? Oh, you can't see me when I do this. C A. I tried. What do you want to be when you grow up? A doctor, of course. My back is itchy, dude. I'm losing my mind. Close enough? My big goddamn head is in the way. I'm so glad that I fixed physics and stuff in this. It makes me happy. I get to fling everything around now. Yeah. Oh, I can what is it? I think my favorite emote has been this one. Out of all of them. There's also like a... Think of it as my thumbs down. Yeah, my face. Do you ever just rub your face a whole bunch just for the fun of it? Just for the fun of it. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it just wakes me up a little. It's practically stretching, but not stretching. Feels like I'm sorry, I'm wearing a sweater. It's getting warm. Okay, I'm good. I have to watch a lecture after this. I don't want to. Stretching is so great. This is so good. I love I don't even know what it is. Like, you know, in like the like slight satisfaction of stretching, it almost feels like, you know, like, do you ever like stretch hard enough that you start like, you know? Uh-huh. Yeah, right? It's so great. That's such a satisfying feeling. That makes it like, the serotonin that releases is so lovely. You start tweaking out, right? Stretching is nice, so cycling. Oh, I've been wanting to bike a lot more. Actually, I've been wanting to really swim, if anything, but biking is like the next best thing. Your back pops? I actually don't like... My bones don't crack that much. I kind of just sit around. Yeah, it goes. I like feel my face getting tired. And I literally just sat at home and slept today. Like, no way. Oh god, your arm popped out of your socket? How do you even do that? Glad I had homework. Oh, I hope it went well. Want to try mountain biking? Oh my god, biking uphill sounds kind of like pain though. No? I feel like biking uphill is like really difficult. Whoa. I wonder if I can like, yeah. Yay! You can kind of see my hands up here now. Happy birthday with December? Oh yeah! Happy December! I'm trying to think. There's oh my god, my hands itchy. It's like, yeah. Can't help myself. What was that? I forget. I was gonna say something. I don't know. Oh fuck, it's warm in here. Dude, that's literally the thought that went through my head that made me forget. I was like, oh fuck, it's really goddamn warm. And I lost my train of thought. Thanks myself. Thanks myself for doing that to me. Dear Santa? I don't Santa. The letter to Santa? Dude, I'm still paranoid that he hates me. He hates me. I hope he doesn't. I want presents. I want presents so bad. Why would you say that? Why would I say what? Oh, it looks so weird whenever I cross my arms. It's so strange. It looks so awkward. Can I like make it look kind of... This is an intervention. Why would Santa... What? Oh, fuck. Santa wouldn't like you? Look, I feel like he would be mad at someone who didn't celebrate his, like, holiday. Right? Like, wouldn't he get mad at someone that doesn't celebrate his holiday? And then suddenly decided to up and celebrate the holiday for the sake of celebrating it? Like, I feel like you'd have a grudge. Like a little grudge. You know? Coal's better than nothing, I suppose? You can grill with coal. God, I love grilling. Oh my goodness gracious. Have you ever received a terrible gift that you pretend to like? Actually, no. I'm very impressed by gifts all the time. I think the only time I ever did feel like that was literally like maybe when I was like 5 or something. You know how I talked about the tooth fairy before? and how my mama and papa would get me gifts from the Tooth Fairy. I think the only time I was unimpressed was that I really, when I was like, you know, 5, I really tried shilling this gift that I really wanted. It was like one of those, do you know what a furriel friend is? It's like those like, cause my mama and papa never wanted pets, right? I knew I was never gonna get a pet. So I wanted one of those robotic, like, animal thingies. They're pets. What is shilling? Like, it's like promoting, practically. It's just like hard promoting something. Like a Furby? Kind of, but it was like of a live animal. Like, furriel friends were like actual animals. Right? And so there was like this elephant one. And it was an elephant that like, you could put something on his trunk and it would pick it up and it would like, you know, like it had like a mechanical nose that would like you know, and like it would walk around and stomp its feet and stuff like that. It was really cool for like, you know, the generation it was in. I think it was the elephant, right? I don't even know the time. What was like? Anyways, I really like those. Anyways, and I really tried talking to my mama and papa about how much I loved this thing and how cool it was. And then they got me a dollhouse instead, which is like, you know, it's chill. It doesn't really matter. But obviously, you know, as like a greedy little goblin baby Suri, I was like, you know, I still appreciate everything they got me though, you know. Genuinely. I think nowadays I really, like, I think I talked about how someone gave me a baguette for my birthday. My high school. Someone gave me a baguette for my birthday. And it, you know, I was happy enough with that. So, you know, I'm pretty impressed by most gifts. I think the one thing I can't get out of my mind is like, gifts are gifts, and gifts aren't like debt. I constantly have this thing of like, I've been given a gift, and now I must return it somehow, in some way or another. Here, all I have is bread? No, the thing is because I kept talking about how much I love baguettes. Like, I had like a crazy love for like I kept talking about it in class, where I was like, dude, I could totally destroy a baguette. Like a full-ass baguette, I could totally destroy that shit. Like, if someone gave me like a full, I don't want half of it. I don't want it cut in pieces. I want like the full stick baguette, and I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to eat all of it. And you know, you got me one, and I ate it all in one day. So, you know, I lived my dream, and you know I'm happy about that. Yay, that was a good gift. I was really happy about it. Oh no! What am I ever gonna do? Anyways. God damn! Wait, it's a Friday night too! Eating an entire baguette? Is that kind of like Echo's sourdough stream? I'm wearing like I have like a big clip in my hair right now, making my head itchy. We cool, but I know, right? I have to start studying for exams. I haven't started. Ugh, I don't want to. I really don't want to. Yeah. Too many exams. I hope next sem doesn't have as many exams. I say that as if I can't choose what classes I take, but there's like, you know, ones that I have to. Easy attack, just drop out of school. Troop. Oh, so cute, thank you. Hi. I'm so happy that it finally has physics. Oh my god. Wow. Dark Souls boss dragon model? Ugh. I remember talking about that. I really wanted to make an Eldritch Horror kind of model, but I don't have the time to right now. But get fun. I give it a $5 super chat, girls. Did you finish your handwritten lab report? They made it due on Sunday instead. So, thankfully, I get to chill out. no lab report. Showing mercy, Riot? For EP time? Chill. Tell me a biology fact? Okay, let me think. You wanna learn about the brain? Or what? I'm trying to think of a silly fact, like a fun fact. Not like a cool fact or whatever. It needs to be fun. It needs to be goofy. It needs to be utilizable, usable. I can talk about the brain, the silly little brain. Let me think. Which nerve is the best nerve in the body? Oh man. Let me think. It's like an actually interesting nerve. There's a nerve bundle. It's called the vagus nerve. And it's an autonomic nervous system nerve that it reaches from the all the way from obviously the spine and stuff down to through the colon all the way through the rest of your organs. So, yes. What's the funny bone all about? Okay. It's called the YeoNwa nerve? I think it's called ulnar or something like that. Ulnar nerve? It's not actually a bone. It's just between bones. If you bump it, your body hates it when you touch nerves. So it's the thing that helps your arm, the motor sense in your arms. For usually most of the hand and stuff. That's why when you hit it, you freak out in your arm for a second. It's because your body you hit a nerve and then your body freaks out because it's holy fuck, my nerve. And that's why it goes numb temporarily, because you hit something and it's getting overstimulated, practically. Is what I can understand. Either it's getting overstimulated or you're stumping some of the signals that are going through it. Ooh, I just cracked my finger. Oh fuck. What happens if you get stabbed in the funny bone? Probably loss of feeling, loss of function for certain parts of the hand. I don't know if there's any other nerves other than the ulnar nerve that controls the rest of hand movement, but there probably is. Maybe by getting on your nerves, haha. Parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic is rest and digest. Sympathetic is your fight and flight. So for example, your heart rate accelerates based off of the sympathetic nervous system. So often if you're standing up, running, getting scared or angry, it'll increase your heart rate. If it's parasympathetic, then it'll decrease it. That's why your heart rate is usually about 90 beats per minute if you don't have any nervous system connecting to it. But because the parasympathetic nervous system is dominant when it comes to heart rate, often your beats per minute is about 70. They also differ in receptors. So there's norepinephrine and epinephrine, and then there's acetylcholine. Both of them use acetylcholine, but for the postganglion nerve, usually they use different ones. Does the para part stand for parallel? Let me think about this. I don't know, actually. I don't know why specifically. specifically? Because both of them technically do parallel the spinal cord is a thing. So pretty certain at least. I love norepinephrine. Norepinephrine. I think I'm pretty certain it's called para because it like... I think it's literally just because it's based off of the sympathetic nervous system. But I'm not too certain. It's fun to say. Norepinephrine is a fun word. It really is. It's such a goofy word. Norepinephrine just sounds silly, you know? I'm trying to think. Just because there's like adrenal glands and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember. Give me a second. Wait, let me think about this. Because we're talking about the sympathetic nervous system uses norepinephrine through adrenergic receptors, if I'm not mistaken. But specifically for adrenal sympathetic, which is like your kidneys, I'm pretty certain it uses epinephrine. And then it goes through the bloodstream. So it's like silly. There's a little weird fact. Yeah, muscarinic. It's often muscarinic, like, cause that's the postganglion nerve. So like the postganglion nerve has like muscarinic receptors that it usually responds to. Well, not responds to, but it gives acetylcholine to. But everything preganglionic is often acetylcholine and nicotinic receptors. They're just based off of what kind of like chemical. You know, like, for example, you know, nicotine affects nicotinic receptors, which affects like those kind of systems, whatever. Reacts to... Oh! This receptor reacts to nicotine, so we're gonna call it the nicotinic receptor. Oh, wow! What's genetic drift? Okay, based off of what I remember in my last bio class, from like you know, like actual like bio, not like biomedicine. Isn't it just kind of by like, it's almost like, it's not natural selection, but it's just based off of like, you know, almost like evolution preference based off of random number generator, you know? I don't know how to explain it properly. I just remember it as like, oh, this guy has been randomly selected by accident to be like the dominant gene in this area, and then it slowly grows. Hi, say hello. How's it going? RNG gods? Literally. I used the term RNG trying to explain something to a therapist one time. I still use it actually, never mind. My like current therapist and stuff, like I use the term RNG. Did they understand? He didn't know what I was saying, and then I said, oh, well, RNG stands for random number generator. So what I feel like is sometimes things will happen and it feels like a random number generator, and I just have to accept the fact. But the thing is that my RNG, like, I don't know, what is it called? Luck? My RNG luck is ass. My gacha luck is ass. You're now the dominant gene. Well, it's like the dominant species, I guess, in that quote-unquote area. Bad seed, right? Gotta restart my Minecraft. Gotta restart my Minecraft run. Bad seed, bad seed. This sucks. You know? RNGesus hates me too? Dude. RNG is so troll, I swear. 98% of gamblers don't do it. Explaining, oh god, no. I can't imagine that. RNG minigames, right? It's RNG minigames. So like, is this actually RNG or not? Randomness in nature? Oh, truly, truly, right? It's like the, what's that word? It's like in every single like law, like physics law and stuff. Is that it'll like, oh, spontaneousness. It's like everything will lead to spontaneity or something like that. It's like a law in like everything. It sucks. It's just like they want to be spontaneous and stuff like that. They just want to like explode for some reason. I'm trying to wait, let me see if I have it. I forget. Anyways, silly little nerd spiel over here. How's everyone tonight? I know it's a Friday night, so and this music, it's silly. I like it a lot. Stop. Do plants feel pain? I feel like there was a research paper on this. I remember reading it. I'm pretty certain they have a reaction. I don't know if they feel pain, but I'm pretty certain they have a chemical release, at the very least, to tell other plants that they're dying. I don't think, well, plants don't have nerves, right? So they can't feel pain. They don't have an integrating system to recognize pain, no? Like, they don't have nerves, they don't have an integrating system, therefore they can't feel pain technically. But they can release chemicals as a response to damage. It gives that fresh cut smell, but that's not technically pain, is the thing. The hormone could be a hormone, but like, that could be a hormone telling other plants. It's a lot of that, I guess, I think. I think to like feel pain, you have to have an integrating system that like puts the physical aspect of pain into action. Hormone release could just be like a reaction to things, you know? Plants have feelings? For the same reason, probably not, right? I understand your frustrations. Yeah, I'm trying to... Oh, with the controls? I think I'm just... 3 is probably like... Probably worse, I feel. Do plants actively follow religion? Do the plants praise the sun? Is that what they've been doing? Praising the sun? Plant. Polygraph concluded that they have feelings? I don't know. I'm not educated enough about it to say anything. I think they can experience stress, but that's like environmental stress. I think people like are trying to like, you know, like this is like the thing I talked about before where people are like using certain words but then they mean different like things to other people, kind of thing. Like they can sense touch and stuff like that, but they don't have like feelings. Like, oh, a grudge. I hate Jeffrey. That's Jeffrey's root right there. I'm gonna kill Jeffrey. It's like they can definitely feel pressure and like touch, like any other cell can. Like they can probably feel like turbo pressure. Like if they're not getting enough water, they'll probably feel the lack of pressure in their like cells and stuff like that. They probably feel stressed too, environmentally. You know, that's like the whole point of hormones and stuff like that. But I don't think they feel like, wham, you know, just like me. Everything are all goobers? Goobers. She loves you. Now I got a lot darker. Evil plants? No! Pain is a chemical process for us, right? Well, technically, everything's a chemical process for us. So, I find the statement that everyone's like when people say like feelings don't matter, love doesn't matter, love is just an emotion, or like love is just like some stupid emotion that's actually just chemicals. Love is just chemicals for the brain, so it doesn't matter. But everything's chemicals for the brain, idiot. It came with your biology, motherfucker. Like, hello? Fungus can solve a maze? It can. It'll likely grow towards stimulus. Like, if it can't grow outwards, then it'll grow towards where it can. So, probably will just grow towards where it needs to. Where it can expand. Don't have emotions that came free with your biology? I don't have... I have the oldest biology known to man. So no, shut up. That's it. Old ladies say, hey, I'm not old. I'm youthful and available. Came free with my Xbox? I have the oldest Xbox known to man. Say that have podcasts with funk music clips and cheating on their wife. I know exactly what you're talking about. Do you ever see like those what's it called? You know those like gym bro posts that are like always really depressing? Where it's like, my girlfriend cheated on me. It doesn't matter, I don't need them. They're like Sigma gym posts. Like Sigma like gym bro posts. You know? It's like, well, if that, you know, if that's what gets you through the day, that's okay. As long as that's what gets you through the day. As long as you're not hurting anyone else. It's fine. What are you talking about? So you've never seen those? They're like gym bro posts, and they'll have like a quote going over top of it, and they'll be from like a fucking TED Talk about like the Sigma grind set. It'll be like I only focused on myself. I don't need girls. I don't need friends. I don't need anyone else in my life except myself. I will carry myself to the finish line. No one else can carry myself to the finish line. Only I will. And like, while they're like lifting weights in like a dark gym room kind of thing. And that's literally just like, that's all the TikTok is. It's that, and then subtitles. Anita Chibi Anime Dragon Girl. Your network is your net worth. It's like always stuff like that. Too pure for this world? What? I'm not corrupting them. I think they're already kind of corrupted for being like, I don't know, I must reject my humanity kind of thing. Isn't that like a thing. Being passionate about your own exploitation. Oh, you just gotta let that dog out. You gotta let that dog out. Yeah. I don't need a woman. I got myself. That's all that matters. All I need is to drop ship 18 different things and sell them to white women online. And I will make my own cash and money. And I will be so rich and a millionaire. Like, okay, man, it's okay. That's okay. Okay. It's going to be alright. Oh my god. 3 jobs and have side hustles kind of evil? Well, the thing is they don't even work 3 jobs. They only side hustle. And then they shit on people who work minimum wage. They're like, I'm not a bitch who works minimum wage. I would never have to go and talk to people for money. I make 5 trillion figures by myself. All by myself. I made this empire by myself. While they're like drop shipping stuff that was like imported from China. Like, what? Like, you gotta be shitting me. You know, like... kind of ass, and most people don't think that. No, they're just screaming on the internet. Just like advertise that so you can buy their gifts. Literally, dude. It's always stuff like that. Like, it drives me crazy when I get those things. Cause like, I thought we were supposed to stop toxic masculinity, and now these guys are shitting on people who work minimum wage. I'm not a beta motherfucker who works minimum wage. Shut up! Oh my god. If you have enough money to invest into dropshipping stuff, you probably got it from your parents. Like, all I'm gonna say is that, like, you probably got your tuition paid for, like, by your parents. You probably, like, had, like, a pretty easy life. If you can just suddenly fucking buy 18 boxes to dropship, you know? Like, chill. They have money from their parents who are landlord? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then they shit on people that come from, like, different backgrounds. It's like, you are not better than other people because of that. Anyways, that's why I complain. Yeah. Speedrun sleeping while only sleeping 30 minutes per hour. It just drives me crazy. Some of these people. My flourish is down, amazing king. Me? Oh, I am lovely. Just so insecure. Look, I don't care if people want to brag about what they have. Like, go crazy. I love it when people I love it when people are happy about like their like accomplishments. But I cannot stand people who need to shit on other people for it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, you kind of, you know, you get what you deserve kind of thing. Is my interpretation. You're gonna shit on other people, people are gonna shit on you. And it's well deserved. Karma is a bitch, as they'd say. Joker 2019. Stop. I gotta change the background to fucking stairs. Most wise, my liege. Raise yourself up, but don't push others down. Right. Society, clan emoji. Society. Can you pull up the image? I could, but I'm not gonna do it. I'll do it for like a very special moment where I can shitpost to my heart's content. Became more small. I am a goob now. I'm not even gooba. I'm a goob. Can I have a shout out? Alright, this is one of those moments. Joined March 16th, 2017. The only link in your channel is a link to your own channel, which has no content on it. You have a sick profile picture though, that's chill. That's chill. So please, it's just a I'm sorry. When people say that, I can't help myself. He has a cool vampire profile picture, that's chill. The Suri old size ad? Thank you, thank you. I think I know what I want to do for your video this month. It's something that you just drew a while ago, but... You work on anger management with your therapist? Oh my god. No, I work on talking to people. I work on talking to people. What a astute answer, my glorious dragon emperor. Ah, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I was trying to search up like what do kings call their like their followers and stuff. Thank you, counselor. Thank you, counselor. Does they get angry? Not really. I just get frustrated. I think I talked about this already. I just cry if I get frustrated. I can't get like angry. I just like subjects is the word. Oh, choose serfs, peasants. You guys are so mean. What the hell? Peasant. Oh, great response, my liege. Thank you, peasant. Yeah, I know. And Voz fight, dude. That's not even angry. That's me whining. I just get is practical. Have you ever like seen that video of that like that dog that doesn't howl? It just like yells, you know? It's practically that. Me too, every husky. Yeah, right? A Nazi of that is practically just huskies whining. How wise, my lord. Thank you, counselor. Thank you, counselor Fortune Cookie. Counselor Fortune Cookie, please tell me my fortune. Chivas want to. Do they really? Husky tantrums? Is that what they call them? Tantrums? This is the Christmas hat. Gotta be just for the holiday. If it's annoying and they won't stop, then yes. I guess. The stars align into a bright future ahead, but tread carefully, for the future isn't set. Oh. Oh. That's so like poetic. It's so much better than what I could get. Like makeup. You think if I like rub Patrick's bald head, it'll like be like those like orb? Tell me my future orb. Like he's gonna hate me. Try again. Like a fucking magic 8-ball and you just shake his head. 7. What does it mean? Okay. I probably have to sneak off soon since I have to study. Oh, it sucks, but I must. Do you get 3 wishes? Oh god. Do I? I'll ask him. And a genie appears? What's your wish? What's a genie? Genies are always like tricky. But study hate, thank you for the stream. Say yeah, back to study jail. It's starting once again. I must go and study again. My alarm. Okay. Welcome to study. Yes, yes, yes. Quickly. Let me check. What I have. Okay, tomorrow is a members only stream. I'm going to be doing Christmas art. I already have the base kind of sketched out a little. But we'll likely be doing like adding details to it or whatever. Or just kind of talking while getting through it and talking about Christmas. After that, on Sunday, we do have a breakfast too. I made pretty. I've been trying to make pretty thumbnails recently. Let me see. I'll share it with you guys. Okay, all kind. So like, here, for example, I made like this one. I've been trying to make pretty thumbnails because I felt bad that I like kind of just make random shit for fun. This is just as fun. It's a little more time consuming, but I've been trying to make prettier ones. Where's the other one? There was one that I was going to use today, but since I'm using the what's it called? The like 3D model thingy. I'm gonna use it another time. But there's this one too. So I wanna use these soon. I will be using these soon. So yeah. Sneak peek. But yes. Oh frick. My face, my nose is itchy. But yes, tomorrow member stream. On Sunday we have a morning stream. I might do a, depending on how much time I have, I might do what's it called? What's it called? A gorilla stream. I might do one tomorrow before my member stuff, depending on how much work I get done. So I might do something before or after. Play more MGS. So we'll see. Goes hard, mind if I screenshot? Nah, not until I post them. Yes. Whoa, morning stream. I know. On Sunday we're gonna have a morning stream. But yes. Depending on how much I get done, we'll see. Other than that, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to return the favor to the Pixel Link girls, and I think I'm going to raid Miss Nabinabu. I think I raided Rocky last time, so I'm gonna raid Nabi. Last time I raided Pixel Link, I think it was Rocky. So setting that up. Alright. Anyways, because I have like exams and stuff, I might be leaning a lot more into the Zatsu kind of stuff that's a little more low energy for me, and I can kind of relax a bit more with. Or like art stuff, we'll see. I'll probably lean into that a lot more for a bit while I'm doing schoolwork, because it'll be harder for me to do series. I hope that I can finish MGS like this week or next week before I have to get into like finals mode. So other than that, I'm gonna be raiding into Miss Nabinabu. She is playing Apex Legends. She is a lovely alien that has come to visit us on the planet Earth. Collecting all the pixeling girls. They're so lovely, dude. Yes. Fortune cookie. Dude, I want to start like quoting your things and like putting them in like a scripture. But, yes. Again. So, that's it. Practically it. I am like, there's nothing else for me to say. Okay. Make sure you drink water, get some rest if it's appropriate time for you. I hope you guys learned a thing or two today, at the very least. Make sure to, of course, praise the sun. And yes, Suri, bye. Be nice to Navi, and I will catch you guys later. Bye. Take care. And of course, be nice to her.